So we have now heard about how you came to Hong Kong and were working, but I'm interested in the fact that the people in Tam Shui knew that you were gone.
Mhm.
And I'm wondering, was there a penalty that your family had to pay, or some kind of reaction from the Communist Party to your being gone?
Oh, I don't hear anything in my part because I stayed in Hong Kong by myself. Probably my parents probably don't have no problem. By the time I'm only 16, see, and sure that in China I see they fully like it grow up, and probably not. Then I believe it. I don't. My family don't have no problem.
You never
no
heard
trouble
from your brothers
No.
and sisters that there
Yeah.
was a problem.
They probably have some way to and point a finger at you, or you bet your daughter against the country, and probably they think that, and reality probably they didn't have a trouble for it. No.
I see. So, but if you had been a person that knew a lot, who was an engineer or a politician or something like that, you think there might have been
Oh
might
yeah,
have been problems?
yeah, so different. Well, 16 women, the girl, they don't know nothing about, they don't have no school to go. Then somebody said, oh, you might run away for the boyfriend. They won't know. And if you are the high engineering then you do have a problem because they don't want you to sell them all the information to outside the country.
Right.
It's a red.
And I think you were also saying that if you had, let's say, gone to Taiwan rather than Hong Kong,
Yeah.
then there might have been a problem too.
Yeah, you go to Taiwan, it's a really big problem. Why? Because the communists in Taiwan, like I said, they was more considered like an enemy, and see, they don't want you go into Taiwan and get all the information what you living in there and what is China, what you're doing now, sell all the information to Taiwan.
I see.
You see that? Yeah.
I see.
I believe it. Well, if I go to Taiwan, my father probably have lots of problem and go, and they put him in jail, the thing. And when I go apply to my green card in Hong Kong, and they do have somebody and tells me and asking me, do you go to? I can get you to Taiwan and send you to school, and the party pay for it, the government pay for it, necessarily here. I'm not interested. I know if I go to Taiwan, my father and my family, you have problem.
I see. Well, that's a good point. I mean, it might have been beneficial for you, but it would have been a real problem for your family.
It really good beneficial for me. I probably have a school to go. I probably married a rich guy. Now I'm so popular. I don't know. Just kidding.
Okay. Now, your brothers and sisters did come to Hong Kong, and what we're going to do is we're going to put the picture of your brothers and sisters up, and we're going to I'll do it in a second, and then you can point to them and tell when they came.
Okay. I didn't. 11 years old. She probably only 4 years of school. Yeah.
I see. Well, why don't you talk about start by talking about Ben. Wasn't he the 11-year-old who followed you? Is Ben the one who came after?
Yeah.
After you? Okay.
He's,
So why don't you tell us, point to Ben, and then tell us.
Oh, you already over? Oh.
Yeah, it's going.
Okay. This is my family picture now. This is Ben, my brother Ben. He came to Hong Kong by the time he's 11 years old. He came in 1961, and he been in the mountain for 7 days, 7 nights.
Oh, yeah.
And well, and nighttime is go to walk and you gonna need daytime go sleep.
That's right. We were gonna put this up, and you could kind of show.
Oh, I show them. This way we live in here. He have a castle all the way to Poinsett in here in Hong Kong. This is Hong Kong. This is Kowloon. Kowloon is the Hong Kong the property too.
Now wait a minute. Do that. Better do that again. I needed to move it. So
Okay.
please go ahead. You can do it now.
Yeah, my brother been studying home in right here in Wei Yang, and have to go all the way to in the mountainside for 7 days and 7 nights, and I sleep in the daytime and walk in the night. And this is one of the first one to come enjoy with me in Hong Kong. And
Weren't you saying that he was really disappointed that he didn't feel like he had a future in China?
oh yes, and no, everybody knows they don't have no future in China. Even he 11 years old. By the time he probably don't looking for it, he said what he want to do. And then they see the Hong Kong the people and said, oh, I got to see my sister. You know, that's probably it's a way there. So not just strictly have like a Korean or what am I doing in Hong Kong?
Mm-hmm.
Probably you don't thinking it that way. They don't.
So why don't you show us, point to your other brothers and
Okay,
sisters
there's,
who came.
And second one to enjoy me in Hong Kong is this is sister, Julie, and he came to 1962, 1 year after my brother came. Yeah, and also this is my sister, Ming Lai, and his name is Mei, and he came to 1962, right up to around the 6 months. He came to 1962 also. This it's 1, 2. We are 4 in Hong Kong that time. My mother came is in 1969. Not 1979, not 69, 1979, from China to USA, and then and this my brother came from China to Hong Kong is 1969, and by the time that before I left Hong Kong, yeah, before I left Hong Kong, he came like a few months, months. Then we live in he meet me in the airport. Same like my sister, same thing. So like 1970, like a couple months before, in the summertime, we came. We live in Hong Kong October 31st, and Halloween, and he came down. He was enjoy us in Hong Kong just about a few months before we left. Yeah.
So were all of your brothers and sisters in Hong Kong by the time you left?
Yeah,
I see.
yeah,
Okay.
it's true, yeah. Except my mother by the time in China.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after I get into the citizen, I have a USA citizen in 1976, and after my mother come here, and it takes like 4 years. He came in 1979. Yeah.
Let's talk a little about your dad. Now, did your father join you in Hong Kong?
No, my dad never been to Hong Kong, and we went back to China in 1966. Take this picture. He was passed away in 1968 in the January.
And I think you said that he had been sick for quite a while.
Yeah, he been ill. He have asthma, and when the asthma attack, he just can't breathe. And
Yeah.
well, we do have the doctor to calm him down. It's a little bit. He's been sick for after I left the Hong Kong. After I left the China,
I see.
he been sick because he don't have no business around, and he just can't do anything by himself. You know, everything just what listen the government tell them what to do.
But he was still doing some work,
Yeah.
as you
But
mentioned.
he work for the government. No? That's work for the pizza. And I tell you that before we had a business. It's 1957. The government want to join our business.
Yeah.
The partner like a partnership.
Yeah,
And when the partnership, my father is only have a salary
right.
and make how much money you only have, right? The salary.
Yeah,
It's limited. And you have your business, you have a lot of energy to go around and do how to make a difference. I make more money, you have a courage, you do that. But you work for the salary and also for government, how much $1 million you make and the government take, you only have, okay, $20 of the salary, that's it you
Right.
have, you know.
right.
And after that, you see the human being don't do the motivation, what call them motivation to you
Mhm.
to do something better,
Sure.
and it then get you help keep going down.
Yeah, so he wasn't motivated to really work as hard as he had been working.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when this photograph was taken, I think you told me that he was already sick.
Yeah, he been sick because we are 1, 2, 3, 4. We are and 5, 6. We are 6 people went to same time because and my brother telecom, yeah. He sent a message to telecom for and not the mails that our father had been so ill, and so we all 4 of them had. And all together go back to Hong Kong in 1966. Yeah, go to China.
And of
So I
course-
see our father. Yeah.
Of course, was that was the only time he saw Jenny and Peter?
In Peter. Yeah.
So we should mention that you had been married in what year was it?
I've been married in 1962.
And then Jenny came along
Mhm.
in,
Jenny came along is 1963.
and Peter
Peter is 65.
65. So,
Yeah. And when Peter this time is only just a few months, like 8 months old.
yeah,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, so how did you learn that he had died later after you went back to Hong Kong after this picture was taken? How
Years
did-
later, but after a little bit over a year.
How did they notify, or who notified you? Did your mother notify you that he had
Oh,
died?
my brother by the time still in China. He telecom, you know,
I
with
see.
it for us, and he said, they have been really sick, couldn't be, it's not last too long, the
Yeah.
doctor can tell. So by the time we cannot go back to Hong Kong, and go back to China, yeah, see. And we just send the money, yeah.
I see.
And by only 1 day, 2 days, I think it's we did a telecom the days he already passed away.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, and then for his funeral, how many of his children were at his funeral? Did
And
any of
it's
the?
just him and her.
I see.
Were at the
Anita
funeral.
and Joe were at the
Yeah,
funeral.
the Joe and Anita.
Yeah.
Yeah, this.
Okay, great. And let's see. Now, you talked about your mother going to Hong Kong and then on to the United States. And what year was that again?
1979.
79.
Yeah, 1979. My mom. By the time the government let them go, because I was. Okay, I don't know.
Okay.
And my mom came to Hong Kong from China. It's in China to Hong Kong, because he have a American visa to go to Hong Kong. Yeah, when in Hong Kong, he just passed to Hong Kong, and stayed in Hong Kong around 3 months. he is flying to USA and here.
I see.
Yeah.
So
We- my-
she only lived in Hong Kong for a short time.
Yeah, a very short time. Yeah, he not the Hong Kong's resident.
I see. Okay, let me turn this off. We're going to be looking at some photographs, and we're looking now at this first photograph of the three people. And Anna, maybe you can tell us who these people are.
Oh, they, yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. This is me. I believe it is a 19.
Why don't you use the pen, why don't you use that
Okay.
pen?
Okay.
Any pen is fine, because there you go. That's
Okay. It's in the night. I believe it's in 1961, and by the time this is me, and it's my brother. I did pick them up from somewhere. This is one is the fan, and we are together went to the tour somewhere.
now. Is that other woman is she part of the family, or is she just a friend?
So she's just a friend.
Just a friend. I see.
Yeah.
And this is shortly after your 11-year-old brother made the trip from
Yeah,
Tom
yeah.
Shui,
Yeah.
7 days to get to Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I'm going to move this along just a second. Okay, now we're focusing on the next one, and these two little people are...
Oh, this Peter. Probably Peter is by the time I'm not even 1 year old. As in Jenny was a little bit over 2.
I see, and this is again in Hong Kong.
Yeah, this and again in Hong Kong. This Jenny is around 2 years old.
Okay, wait a minute, I'm just going there. Okay, now we're looking at another picture of Jenny. And she's about 2 there, you say?
Yeah, this little bit over 2 years old. Yeah, almost the same time. It's a summertime. Yeah,
I see.
that's Peter.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm moving over. Okay, now we got Peter again.
Yeah, Peter probably then a little bit older. This time he can stand up. This one couldn't stand up.
I see. Now he's standing. Okay. Okay, now we're looking at a picture of 5 young women.
Okay.
We're on the left. The
Okay,
5
this is
young...
my cousin. My cousin. This is me. As the Julie. As May. As Anita.
Okay, so
And in
you're...
1970, when I picked it up in the picture from the airport in Hong Kong.
Oh, so you were at the airport.
Yeah.
Is this...
By the time they're leaving, before the flight.
I see. This is
Yeah.
just before you flew out.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Well, that's... So that's
See,
your all...
look at that. I have the dress up and go somewhere.
So, but you were the only one leaving at this point,
Yeah,
right?
that's the only one.
So they had come to say goodbye to you.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, now wait a second. I'm going to have to move the camera over so
Okay.
we see.
Okay.
No, I'm going to have to also change the focus on this. I can see you holding Peter. I guess is the only thing I got. Ooh, okay, second.
Oh.
There's so many people in this picture.
Yeah, the pictures of my sister, Julie.
Okay, now wait a second. I want to come. I'm gonna come a little closer so that we can see faces. And it's a little bit tricky here.
Okay.
Let me. Now let's see. Okay, I may cut off a few feet, but. Okay, now let's start on the left side because I can only get one part of the picture at a time. I see you and Jen and Peter, so you can talk about that area of the...
Oh. This picture is in 1967. My sister, Julie, she get married.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and this is the husband is a married picture. Yeah, this is there's my younger brother was when he 11 years old.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Hong Kong. Yeah, this is my aunt, and this is Julie and them. This is my cousin.
Now you're over on the right-hand side, so I'm going to shift the whole thing a little bit. Okay.
Well, this is my sister May.
Okay.
And the husband, and this is a whole bunch of this is Jenny, It's in me, the Peter.
Oh yeah.
It's my cousin, and this my aunt. This cousin is we skipped to China together.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
There was one that was 20 years older than you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he 20-year old. And
Okay.
by the time when my sister get married, he not married yet. And,
I see.
And this is my cousin, and our cousin's daughter.
I see.
And yeah, we have just family picture. By the time we just only have family in here.
Okay, who is the older woman there in the picture in the middle?
And this is my cousin's mother.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And then your sister who is getting married, is that Judy?
Yeah, this is Judy. This Judy get
No.
married.
Oh, I
This
mean,
Judy. Yeah.
Well, who's the one in? That's Judy.
Yeah, this is Judy.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
This is the husband.
Yeah.
And this is the bride school. You know. This is my cousin.
I see.
At the
Okay.
time he used somebody else, birth certificate came here. Well,
Yeah. So we're
19
talking now about you and your family coming to the United States, right?
okay, yeah.
And so you had been planning that for a long time.
Well, we don't plan it to come in here. Well, for me, when I get married, have a kid, I'm not, like I said, look far for it, go USA, because my husband, the brother came here is false information.
With false information,
Yeah.
I see, yeah.
If false information, he said that the uncle be the father. You know, we are nothing to related. And by the 1963, the laws changed. He couldn't go to the immigration, show them who he is. And
You say he could go at that point.
yeah, he couldn't go this point because the Kennedy changed the law for it. You couldn't be who you are. Just tell them the truth. You know?
So, yeah.
And then so he have to brother sister gives us in the picture. So then there's we can come in over.
I see.
And then they have our paperwork and be the legally come in here.
Legally,
Yeah.
okay, that's great. And so, you said something about you had to get together some clothing and so
Oh
forth.
yeah. Well, we kind of pretty much poor in Hong Kong. We are just live this is like a paycheck by paycheck.
Mhm.
Yeah. By the time we are 4 people, 4 tickets to come to USA, is pretty hassle, pretty much.
Sure.
You know, we don't. And lucky we have an aunt. It's couldn't loan us some money, and we loan her $5,000, and each ticket probably 240 American money. Yeah. So this part, then we need to go buy some clothing, and you can know that we have ship us the coast that we can carry it somewhere, but and then we have to get some sent it by the ship to here.
You knew you were going to San Francisco eventually, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then from San Francisco, where was your husband's brother living?
Oh, they're living in Santa Cruz.
So he was in Santa Cruz, so that's basically why
Yeah,
you
basically we
came to
came to
Santa
Santa
Cruz,
Cruz,
because he
yeah.
was living there. Okay, great. And so the picture we just saw of your sisters at the airport, that was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
day you were leaving
Yeah.
with your family. And so I'm going to turn this off so we can see this picture of Peter in flight here. Okay, I turned that off, and now we're going to get back on you
No,
because
it's
we're
not
going to.
off yet.
Okay, I want you to talk a little bit about.
Okay.
It's off, I know, because
No, it's not off.
it's not off. Okay, it's okay. I can
Okay.
edit. I can edit that out. Did you turn it off? Okay.
Oh, I didn't.
It's all right. It's all right.
It's funny.
Okay, now maybe you could describe the
Yeah.
trip itself.
We the first flight and we first stop in Hawaii. We get all the picture, give it send it to the immigration, get all it done, and so we stopped by. It's kind of few hours in Hawaii, but we didn't go anywhere. Just stayed in here.
This was all at the airport, was it?
In the airport, yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so we right in San Francisco, so we couldn't have a green card. Just first of all, I want to tell you about when we get into the San Francisco, the days of Halloween, right? When they see the people dress up, scare our family, you know, and Peter still said, "What are you doing, the mom?" You know? I said, "I don't know what they're doing for it." It's a Halloween day, you know, and so then with the Halloween night, we stop to our aunt's house. When we get into Santa Cruz, we stop at aunt's house. And they do have people locking the door, give me candy. It was the first experience about Halloween. You know?
So is there any holiday or observance in China that's similar to this about the scary spirits and so forth walking around?
No, not really, not really. We don't have people dress up scary. We do have like a celebrate for all the go to cemetery, have a certain day, then like a memorial day.
Yeah, you mentioned that, so that maybe that's got a certain root similarity. Yeah. Okay, so you got into Santa Cruz after San Francisco.
And the night, and we get into our aunt's house, they give us a fried chicken. Yeah. Well, we never have the chicken for so big a piece by ourselves. You know, with Chinese food. One chicken chop it will share with 20 people. And
Right.
first one, Peter have a drumstick. He look at it. You don't know.
You didn't know where to start.
So, and this is our experience. They give us a fried chicken for the dinner.
So I'm not clear. Who was giving this dinner?
The aunt, for my
Your aunt.
yeah.
Oh, your aunt. Okay.
It's not my aunt though. My husband, the uncle's wife.
I see.
The uncle already passed away.
I see.
So we stop by his house.
I see.
Because the brother have pick us up in the airport. So the aunt said prefer the dinner for us.
Right.
All very warm and very warm welcome, really nice. Yeah.
That's great.
This is where our first night, we came here. Then we live in a motel. Another motel and have just one room. And we stand in one room. We feel like it. Well, we live in Hong Kong, the same thing, same as same big space like that.
That's the truth. So the days just follow the very next day. Were you taken around Santa Cruz to see what it was like, or?
Yeah, we try to go to the places, and we go out look. Oh, the streets, nobody, In Hong Kong, there are 1 million people look at.
It looked almost deserted to you, huh?
I know. How the people living, And it's so many things new, Then we go to the supermarket and try to go look for something. We see that, first of all, we look at this, the vegetable is so big, and we never can see there's a big, like a special, because it's what's the column called? The watermelon, everything is just so huge size,
Big, we specialize, I guess, in that sort of thing. Yeah. Well, okay. When we were last talking, we were talking about you coming to Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
You and your husband and 2 kids. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about the fact that you were living in a motel at the time.
Yeah.
That was your first home in Santa Cruz. Can you remind us of some of the things about the motel, how long you lived there, and so forth?
The motel right to the Ocean Street, right, and before get to the Highway 17, it's right in the next to the Denny store, the Castle Street from Denny store. Yeah, it's a 1 bedroom. It's no kitchen and have a closet and nothing else. It's just that big. Or just when you motel, they go to 1 bedroom have a closet like that. Yeah. And we have a twin bed, then they have another mattress. Peter and Jenny, and the nighttime is sleep in the floor.
I see.
Yeah, and we live in there like kind of like a few months, and after that, then a few months later, I have one is a unit have a little kitchen. So
Oh, this is a unit in the same motel?
Yeah, same
I
motel.
see, okay.
so then move out, then we move in there, then we pay a little bit more. First of all was $60, then later on probably in about $70, something like that.
I see.
Pay a little bit more,
And
They
before,
have a little kitchen,
yeah, before you had
but
the
they
kitchen.
still have one bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before you had that kitchen, how were you cooking? You were telling me something about how you...
I cook with my rice cooker, and so sometimes my relative maybe they invite us dinner and go have a dinner. They don't. We just cook it and with a rice cooker and put some other meat or the vegetable, and after done, then we just throw it one done for one time. We don't need it stir fry or stir fry. And it's nice though, have all those. And then after have a little kitchen, just have a 2 burner. The little kitchen have
I see.
2 burner there. And after that, the same might be about not even a year. Then later, and my aunt buy the house in the civil line, so they let us live in their house, kind of 3-bedroom, pretty good price.
This is a 3-bedroom that you were able to then move into, I
Yeah.
see.
So then we have a lot of loan for it. Only pay $90. And we see that we live in the 3-bedroom, like 70, 71. Michael was born in a 3-bedroom, like 72.
I see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In 72, then we buy the house in here for 75. In July was 75.
The house-
Been there 3 years later. We
I see, the house that we're in right now
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
one you bought, I
yeah,
see.
yes. And we moved in on the 4th of July or something.
I see.
Yeah.
So you were telling me something about the people across the street and how they didn't they help you with...
Oh, that's
that was later
when
on.
we first came here, my neighborhood visited the policeman, and the wife was very nice, called Delma, and he wanna really just like help me, and he always remind me that their house and sit down to talk. But I don't speak English though, First word he tell me sit down, I get so confused. I don't know what is.
So you were still standing, right?
I standing in a long time, then he figured out, oh, okay, come on. He pick on that chair. So then, sit down. So then later on we go to school. I go to school, then the night school, Santa Cruz High School.
You were going to night school in Santa Cruz High, I
Yeah,
see.
7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 2 hours. And my teacher, Mrs. McCutcheon.
McCutcheon?
Yeah, Mrs. McCutcheon, you know?
Mary McCutcheon, was it? Was it?
She might have Mary McCutcheon.
Well,
He live in the Capitola.
Oh, well, you know
Remember?
something? She was a parishioner at St. John's where Kay and I go to church.
Oh yeah?
Mary McCutcheon. Yeah, so that's a very interesting connection, yeah.
She is a very, very good teacher.
Mhm.
Have a lot of patience, and when I go to the citizenship, the class,
Mhm.
he worked so hard for me. I really remember that woman, very gentle.
Oh, yeah, that sounds
big
like the
hearted,
one
yeah.
person that we knew. Now, you went 2 hours a night. Was this 5 nights a week, or was this 3 nights a week?
3 nights a week,
3 nights a week.
3 nights a week, and 7 to 9.
I see.
Yeah, this. By the time I might go and just still baby, I said let him home. I'm going to school though.
I see.
Yeah. I know I already figured out. So if I want to live here, I want to survive here, I have to learn English.
Mm-hmm.
And
Great. So after you were then living in the that first home after the motel, was that the $60 a month home, and then you said you
no, by the time I didn't go to school, I didn't know too much people. You know, many people take me to the school. Yeah.
I see.
And I don't drive. You can. And after that, I work for the laundry, and the lady boss that go to school, I go with them. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I wanted to cover was you were working then outside the home in the laundry.
Mm-hmm.
And how long after you arrived in Santa Cruz did you start that job?
About a couple months.
Couple months, I
Yeah.
see.
Couple months I work in the laundry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They have a little income. They're really happy for him.
I see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then you were saying that you knew somebody who worked at for the hands,
Yeah.
and she.
One is the lady we meet in the school.
I see. I see.
So
Okay.
she's a Chinese. He been here for a couple of years before me,
Mhm.
and she said that she worked on the hands draping shop, and she said maybe you can ask in the house in downtown, the furniture store, and also have a draping shop down here. So I chose. I said I like it following you when you go to the work, you know. So I went to where the place said the place hands draping and branch 40 drive is right in the countryside.
I see.
Yeah, it's a very nice location up there.
I see.
Yeah. So, well then we make it there. The lady boss wanna hire me, so I work for them. Then later on, I learned how to drive, and I take my own cars.
But you were telling me that you were making a certain amount at the laundry, and then the lady said, "You come to work at the hands, and you make more." And
Of course,
maybe
yeah.
you could talk about how much you were making at each of those places.
I worked at the Chinese own the laundry. They only pay me $40 a week. It don't matter. We work 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, still $40.
I see.
And I work for hand draping. I almost more than double up my salary. And I'm more happy for it. And I still couldn't learn the Chinese. I couldn't learn the English with all the people.
I see.
Yeah. Then I know how to sew. So by the time they say, you still need to learn it, they tell me that. I said, okay. They wanted to call him supervisor, his nephew. He always wanted to pay with me, So something. He said, "You're gonna do that, do this. If you don't," I said, okay.
Oh boy. So you worked first in the laundry, then you worked for the hands, sewing the draperies.
Yeah.
Putting the hems on those, I guess, huh? And then, okay. Now tell me about the move to Patterson. Was that next? Or no, you bought this house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I bought a house, so I already work for the hands already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
hands draping.
these jobs you had outside the home, they're the things that enabled you to get enough money together so you could buy this house. I see.
Oh, you know all the details, like what I said. First of all, then when I across the street have one that they call him Mr. Suhu, Mrs. Suhu. He's a good friend of me and a good friend to my aunt. And he always and when they go down, they just call him out town. Yeah. You want to go to downtown, is to go to see us. And then he will go shopping around in Epperson. By the time they don't have a grocery store in here, they will go shopping in downtown Epperson, Long, and and they always take me with them.
I see.
And in my aunt, and I like carry some 7 this heavy thing, and so we become so good friends. And one time I was with them, they have a sign, a house right here, and for sale, and he recommend me get this house with the congregation for, and we did it. By the time we live in 3-bedroom house, we pay about $90 a month, and he said you own the house. If you buy the house, you only pay $50 more, because the next door you couldn't get a tenant when the rent money helping you. By the time only $300 for mortgage payment.
The payment, yeah.
Yeah, so I seemed like a really good deal. Yeah, only thing we short for the down payment, and for this time is in 1975.
Mhm.
I kind of we saved like $5,000 our money. We don't not enough for $9,000 for down payment.
You needed 9,000
Yeah.
and you had 5,000.
Yeah, so there's old man helping us go looking around, get the like first mortgage, second mortgage to people, and then look for one is the guy couldn't loan us for $4,000, and so the deal was made. That's why we get the house.
And that was basically
Yeah.
all because of the gentleman across the street,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he helping later. He helping me money or that
And
kind of thing.
what was
We
his,
just
what
like
was
to
it-
have another uncle in there.
Yeah, what was his name?
Suhu.
Suhu?
Yeah. It's Jimmy Suhu. Jimmy
Suhu.
Yeah. In the this is the Hartman. He owned altogether 10 houses in here.
I see. Wow.
He usually have a chicken house in there. He sell them the egg. Chicken house, you bet how many thousand those the chicken in here. You know, now the house right here is still chicken farm.
Really?
Yeah.
When you moved in, it had...
No, I didn't. I'm in and it's not chicken farm.
Yeah.
When I hear it's not no more chicken farm anymore.
I see.
He already built a 10 house altogether.
I see.
And his one is a very outstanding person.
Mhm.
I read. He don't work very hard, He does not too much job for. He one time he met the people. He like a social with the people talk, and she went to Chinatown, and the banker she said, "Oh, we have how many $1,000 we need to loan them out." By the time it's 1960, 65, 68. He built a house in like 68 or something, 65. Or only $20,000, $18,000 built one duplex.
Mhm.
And he borrowed the money from Chinatown
I see.
and the Chinese banker, and they have money to loan out for.
Mhm.
And his daughter-in-law work in the bank or somewhere. I forgot it. What is it? They do have a little connection for it.
Yeah, it sounds like
Yeah.
the connections were
Yeah,
important
connection
there.
for it, and so he get the money, and then he built one house. He built one house, then sell them, then build another one, then build another one. All of a sudden, he can't sell them. Nobody buy it, then he rent it out. And then after that, when he get older, he want to stay with the son and daughter-in-law in the Fourth City. He sell them.
Foster City, did you say?
Yeah, Foster City, yeah. He sell them everything in here and moved to the Foster City
I
with the
see.
son. I think he passed away. This is like 4 or 5 years ago.
I see.
They both, yeah. And we really good guy. Really
Yeah,
good guy.
you
We really want to help him. Truly want to help you, not that.
You remember him fondly, don't you?
Yeah, I go into the once in a while. Most of the time I go see them. I drive to all the way to the 92, 92
Oh, yeah.
past it, and
Oh, yeah.
and Foster City. After I visit them, then I go to the 92, the San Mateo Bridge, and go to Fremont to see my mom. They're
Boy, you're
always-
kind of driving all over the place, huh? So how
Just once in a
long,
while.
speaking of your driver's license, how long after you arrived in Santa Cruz, that was 1970, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How long before you were actually had a driver's license?
Oh, I got my driving license in 1970, after my go born. Around my 1973,
73. Okay.
73, I hardly go asking somebody, give me a ride. You know, there's a few, you know, one time I asked my husband, how come, can you give me a ride to the Mr. Suhu? He said no. So I mixed up my mind, I want to learn it, you know. So he showed me, he said, I'm going to teach you, you know. So he teach me is we are going to the computer college, you know, before going around, couple round. And a funny thing I'm going to tell you that, about I get the first one, I get the
Driving lesson or?
no, the permit.
Oh, the permit, okay.
Yeah, permit. The permit, how I get it. You know.
Okay.
But the permit, they have how many hundred? There's one. They have a number 1, number 2, number 3, number 5, right? I get together what 5 is a number. What my my friend and I teach them. I don't read English. I just said it. First question number is a number. Capital tell to the M and C. I could answer the number 3. You know, I memorized that.
I see.
Then I to all of them. Then I see another one. Number 2, the ticket. You know, then most of them they just tune in to the like a reverse upside down. This is the question. And I see that this question to the question is same thing. The same thing I remember that memorize the M is then called the answer is number 2. You know?
I see.
And then he took me to go get the permit, and so I get the. You know how much I get? I get 80% pass my permit.
Very good. Very good. You had memorized it, huh?
Oh yeah, so funny, very very funny. He just laugh and laugh, and you know the old man just laughing about. And how you could get it at the high score? You know?
That's pretty funny. Now, who did you say was giving you the driving lessons? Was it the gentleman across the street?
Yeah, he had me by the house.
Jimmy Suhu?
Yeah, Jimmy Suhu.
He's the one that helped you learn to drive. I see.
Well, you see, when I get my permit.
Permit, yeah.
Actually, in 1 month, I learned that. Then I go get the test and drive. I got it, 100%.
Really? Wonderful.
See, only 1 month. So then I go buy the car. And I buy the second hand for the Chevrolet. Yeah, the 4-door.
What kind of a car was it?
And the Chevrolet.
Chevrolet.
Yeah, but it's a kind of big car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chevrolet 4-door.
Right.
So you wouldn't have to have all the kids climbing all over into the back
No,
seat.
no,
They can go
yeah.
in their own door.
Yeah.
Sure. I completely understand that. Yeah. So that in other words, you now have your driver's license and a car, and you bought the house,
Yeah.
and now to Patterson. How does that
Okay,
work out?
after Patterson, we get the house in 1975. So after that, we get a Patterson in 1979. So I'm there 4 years later. And 4 years later, the house price will go up. So there's the Suhu, and we went to the downtown, the bank called not the Godfrey made saving, and what kind of saving, right to the downtown next to the post office. And see too that we have a mortgage down there, and see what's how much we are income, how much equity for a house, how much for. He said you couldn't get it $20,000. So after that was put $20,000. We couldn't we're gonna own our business. You know. Then we look for that is the one in the Patterson. There's the 100 by 50, 50 by 100 feet, 2-story, and there's top of the second floor. They have 3 bedroom, and the bottom floor is a restaurant.
I see. So
And usually it's a
Yeah.
steak house.
Mhm.
They have lots of the big refrigerator, frozen, there's lots of equipment,
Mhm.
and they only sell them for $50,000. Pretty good deal for the building and the property and the business.
Mhm.
And it's pretty good, nice to start, you know. As I said, I could let the house in here, I don't need to sell the house. Sell from the house in here, we could live up to the top and the second floor. Then we have place to live, we have a business. I figured out maybe 5 years, we've been pretty well done.
Mhm.
But something is a reality that we can keep it for 5 years. And it's 1 year we have sold it to somebody else.
Within a year you sold it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! I didn't.
And 1 year I make a profit, $1,800, $18,000,
Boy.
and sell them to the guy. Now the people buy the 68,000, they sell them at 400,000.
Yeah. I know. If you wait long enough, you can make a huge profit. But you can't always wait that long. Well, so you sold it after a year, and then you returned to Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to think. Had Jen started the school by that time?
Jenny was in the Patterson at the high school too.
Oh,
Yeah.
she.
Yeah, she's in the high school, and then come back, and I think they come back. He going back to the Harbor High for the last of the senior year.
Oh, I see. You say Jen was in high school in Patterson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Peter didn't go.
He-
Peter is still in the Harbor High School. He live here. He
Oh,
don't
that's right.
move to
That's right. You
San-
told me that Peter stayed here while you
Yeah.
guys went to Patterson. And who did he stay with, or did he stay by
He
himself?
there with the grandpa and grandma.
I
The
see.
grandpa, my husband, the father and mother came as
I
in
see.
1980 and 1979, something 80.
I see. Okay, so I was trying to get all that straight in my mind. Jen was in high school in Patterson. So she started school in Santa Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know she was at Branciforte Elementary.
Yeah.
And Peter, did he go to Branciforte Elementary also?
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
And after that, we moved up there. Then they gonna go to Harbor High.
Yeah.
And then they went to Harbor High.
Yeah.
First of all, they come to Delmar, in Delmar School, then go to Harbor High. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So this kid doing so well. Peter is really independent kid, you know.
Yeah,
He's,
evidently. Yeah.
Seems like now he working up there in the
Portland.
Portland.
Mhm.
He's pretty happy for it by himself. You know.
That's
Says,
good.
yeah.
That's good. So you came back to Santa Cruz, and you obviously had this house here. So
Yeah.
you were all set up in that way. And let's see, I'm just going on. Oh yeah, I wanted to cover this. We talked about this earlier about the fact that Jen and Peter spoke Chinese at home.
No.
Oh, they didn't. Before they went to school, they.
Well, after that, in the branch 40, after that, they don't speak the Chinese.
Yeah, but before they went to school,
Yeah, before they speak
you
Chinese.
all did speak Chinese
Yeah.
at home, and now you were telling me that when they started school, then
Yeah.
there was a little while there that they were feeling a little bit little conflicted about
Yeah.
speaking Chinese at home and trying to speak English at school. And what did you say that the teacher had said to you?
They're pretty, he said they're pretty good to catch it up, nice, you know.
They're catching up, and
Yeah.
then, but you weren't sure.
I was sure of what they
what
said.
he was saying, but
Yeah.
Peter translated
Yeah.
for you, right?
Uh-huh.
And told
Peter
you.
tells me, he said, or talk Chinese. You know. Or teacher tell them we are good. You know.
That's great. Let me pause. I'll just stop this for now. I thought I had stopped that for now.
All right.
Okay, so after you came back from Patterson, you then went to work for.
Scotts Valley, the electronic place. They just they are not the electronic company. They just what's it called?
Assembly plant?
Assembling plant for the manufacturing. The big plant in San Jose. You know, I don't know what they did. I worked for the 2 year. 1 year, one time after. I think 2 years. So they have a meeting for us. He said we file bankruptcy. You know. And I said, file bankruptcy means I don't know, Social Security working here. Why am I still here? And then my friend was all of a sudden mixed me. He said, "Oh, you want one? You want one the Pantonics application? We got one." You know. I said, "Okay, I'll take one." I filled it up. I said, on the way home, I sent it to the Pantonic. Pantonic, the personality lady is do the interview. He asked me. He said, "Are you really want a job? You come and see it on Monday. We have an interview." You know. So after that, I got a job in Pantonic.
So your experience.
May 24. Yeah.
Yeah, your experience with the electronics company in Scotts Valley.
Yeah.
Was what you used to as your experience to get into Plantronics. That was
Yeah,
great.
it's a pretty, getting right away, I very pretty, since what they say, I'm a pretty lucky lady.
So you then continued to work for Plantronics for how long?
26 years.
26 years, and then you retired in?
In last year, October 31st, and
2008.
2008, yeah. You see, I want to get there October 21st, because we came here October 31st, and Halloween Day.
I see.
Again, on Halloween Day, I'm done too.
Well, that is great.
I got a breathing.